3 years ago, most people believed artificial intelligence was something reserved for big tech companies and Silicon Valley engineers. But today, it's quietly becoming the fastest way ordinary Americans are escaping the 9-to-5 system. And here's the uncomfortable truth. While some people are still scrolling, others are using AI to build income streams that rival full-time salaries. And the gap between those two groups is growing every single day. Imagine waking up, checking your phone, and seeing that you made money overnight, not because you worked more hours, but because you built a system that works for you. And that's exactly what AI side hustles are enabling right now. This isn't about hype, and it's definitely not about overnight success, but it is about understanding a shift that's already happening across the US economy, where automation is no longer replacing jobs quietly. It's giving individuals the power to create income in ways that didn't exist even a couple of years ago. If you think about how most people earn money, it's still based on trading time for income, which means your paycheck is directly tied to how many hours you show up. And that's why, even with benefits like a 401k or employer health insurance, people still feel financially stuck because their earning potential is capped. AI changes that equation by allowing one person to produce the output of 5 or even 10 people. And that's where the opportunity lies. When you combine AI tools with basic digital skills, you're no longer limited by your time. You're only limited by how well you can design systems that generate value. And in the US, where cost of living continues to rise and wages are not keeping up at the same pace, more people are turning toward these alternative income streams not just as side hustles, but as a serious path to financial independence. Let's start with the simplest entry point, because most beginners overcomplicate this. Right now, one of the easiest ways people are making money with AI is by offering services that businesses already need but don't have time to do themselves. Think about small businesses that need social media content, product descriptions, email marketing campaigns, or even basic customer support responses. With AI tools, you can generate high-quality content in minutes and then sell that as a service. The value isn't just in pressing a button and letting AI do everything. It's in understanding what the client actually wants and refining the output so it feels human, relevant, and aligned with their brand. This is where beginners can realistically start making a few hundred to a couple $1,000s per month. And while that might not replace a full-time job immediately, it builds something far more important, which is skill leverage. As you move beyond the beginner stage, the real shift happens when you stop selling your time and start building systems. Instead of writing content for one client at a time, people are now creating automated content pipelines where AI generates blog posts, videos, or newsletters consistently, and those assets are monetized through ads, affiliate marketing, or digital products. This is where the income starts to scale, because you're no longer limited by how many clients you can handle. For example, someone might build a niche YouTube channel where AI assists with scripting, editing, and even voiceovers, allowing them to produce content at a much higher volume than traditional creators. Once that channel starts generating ad revenue, sponsorship deals, and affiliate income, it becomes a compounding asset rather than a one-time payment. Now, here's where most people either level up or quit, because the intermediate stage requires patience and a mindset shift. You have to think like a builder instead of just a freelancer. The people who are successfully replacing their 9-to-5 income are not just using AI tools randomly. They're building repeatable systems that produce consistent results. That might look like creating an AI-powered newsletter that grows an audience over time, or launching a digital product like an online course or template pack that solves a specific problem. In the US, where digital products are often taxed differently than traditional income depending on your structure, many creators even set up LLCs to manage their earnings more efficiently and take advantage of certain IRS deductions, which becomes relevant as your side hustle starts generating serious income. At the advanced level, this is where AI side hustles begin to look less like side hustles and more like actual businesses. People are building agencies where they use AI to deliver services at scale, hiring a small team to manage clients while the systems handle most of the production. Others are developing SaaS tools powered by AI that solve specific problems, creating subscription-based income that can grow month after month. This is where replacing a 9-to-5 salary becomes realistic, not because it happens overnight, but because the income becomes diversified and scalable. Instead of relying on one paycheck, you might have revenue coming in from multiple streams, including content monetization, client services, digital products, and even investments once you start reinvesting your profits. But let's address the biggest misconception, because this is where a lot of people go wrong. AI is not a magic button that prints money, and anyone selling it that way is either misinformed or trying to sell you something. The real advantage comes from combining AI with human judgment, creativity, and consistency. The tools can generate content, automate workflows, and save time, but they still need direction. The people who are winning in this space are the ones who treat AI like an assistant, not a replacement for thinking. They test ideas, refine their strategies, and most importantly, they stay consistent long enough to see results. In many ways, this is similar to investing, where the biggest returns don't come from a single lucky move, but from consistent effort and compounding over time. Another important factor to understand is risk, because while AI side hustles can increase your income, they also require you to manage uncertainty. Unlike a traditional job where you have a predictable paycheck, your earnings here can fluctuate, especially in the beginning. That's why many financial advisors in the US recommend starting a side hustle while still employed, allowing you to build income gradually without putting your financial stability at risk. Once your side hustle consistently covers a significant portion of your expenses, that's when transitioning away from a full-time job becomes a calculated decision rather than a gamble. This approach aligns with broader financial principles like maintaining an emergency fund, managing debt responsibly, and continuing to contribute to long-term investments like a 401k or Roth IRA. What's fascinating is how quickly this landscape is evolving, because just a few years ago, these opportunities didn't exist at this scale. Today, we're seeing teenagers building profitable AI businesses, freelancers doubling their income, and even corporate employees quietly replacing their salaries with online income streams. The barrier to entry has never been lower, but at the same time, competition is increasing, which means execution matters more than ever. It's not enough to know that AI exists. You have to actually use it strategically, find a niche where you can provide value, and commit to improving over time. And if you zoom out for a second, this isn't just about making extra money. It's about control. It's about having the option to design your own schedule, choose the type of work you want to do, and build income streams that aren't tied to a single employer. In a world where layoffs can happen unexpectedly and industries can change rapidly, having that level of flexibility is becoming less of a luxury and more of a necessity. AI side hustles are not a guaranteed path to wealth, but they are one of the most accessible ways right now to start shifting from a fixed income mindset to a scalable income mindset. So if you're watching this and wondering whether this is something you should pursue, the real question isn't whether AI will impact your financial future, because it already is. The question is whether you're going to be on the side that uses it to create opportunities or the side that watches those opportunities pass by. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need a huge budget. And you definitely don't need to quit your job tomorrow. What you need is a willingness to start small, stay consistent, and learn as you go. Because the people who start today, even imperfectly, are the ones who will have the biggest advantage tomorrow. And in a world that's changing this fast, that advantage can make all the difference.